Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you are in the world. I hope this finds you well. And welcome to Ski Bum Trading, providing you with tools and insights to help better understand and traverse the icy slopes of the markets. If you enjoy this content and want to sharpen your edge even more, consider joining the Ski Bum Trading Discord server. The link for that is in the description below. Now let's strap in and venture out onto the icy slopes ahead of us, and icy slopes they are. But looking at this cup and handle on gold, as well as this cup and handle on the S&P 500, is interesting, especially when we have a potential cup and handle forming on Bitcoin before our eyes. So it makes me wonder if the low is in on Bitcoin, this wick down to 49,000, which was also the 50-week moving average. It makes me wonder if the low is in here. Sometimes crypto lags traditional markets. So stocks have been doing a lot better recently than most of crypto. Bitcoin obviously has been lagging. A lot of people are becoming frustrated, concerned, depressed, and it's all happening with Bitcoin right at its all-time high. It reminds me of what sentiment was like in this area right here when the stock market was putting in its handle on this cup. And I even pointed that out on Twitter on September 27th, kind of mentioning that the sentiment was feeling quite bearish here on September 27th. And so that ended up being a local low, price pumped. And so I'm looking at Bitcoin right now, and I'm thinking to myself, scrolling the feed, everybody's arguing with each other. They're kind of, could go either way. Everybody's just has mixed feelings and is uncertain. None of my friends who aren't into crypto are calling me, asking me if it's a good time to buy Bitcoin. It's not that exciting right now. However, objectively, Bitcoin and Caspa have been doing pretty well. They're at the top. If you look at coins down from their all-time highs, layer ones, for example, in the top 50, Bitcoin and Caspa are neck and neck. So that's nice to see, especially as a Caspa holder. And Caspa has, in my opinion, more to go at 22, shooting for top 10. So looking at the Caspa chart, we're sitting on the 20 and 21 week SMAs, where historically price has pumped off of these moving averages. It's been a good time to buy. Even the last time it touched down or went below was around 10 cents. Price was, between 10 and 12 cents. Currently price is 15 cents. And so the moving averages have moved up since then. We had a wick down here, and obviously that got bought up very quick. So it seems like buyers are watching these moving averages and coming in. So Caspa is only down 24% from its all-time high. The volatility has been decreasing. As you can see right here, on this drop, it fell 71%. On this drop, it fell 57%, 58%. On this drop, it fell over 70%. So volatility up here has been leveling off, and you can see all of these levels where it touches these moving averages has historically gotten bought up. It spent a lot of time down here. There were a lot of mixed feelings about where the coin was heading while price was down here, and eventually it cruised up. This was, like I said, 10 to 12 cents. And so as we get down here, we have similar feelings coming in. Bitcoin is frustrating people, but I would say consider that Bitcoin is doing something like this, where sentiment is getting very, very mixed, very uncertain, And it's possible that Bitcoin has a rally similar to the stock market out of this, and that Bitcoin is just lagging. And we watch Bitcoin because that sets the mood for the rest of crypto. Historically, Caspa has kind of done its own thing. It's kind of just trended up. I think right now, because it's a larger market cap, it takes more capital to move it. And so we are seeing some sideways price action. I think that people are waiting to see what happens with Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin does in fact pump out from this handle, if this is a cup and handle, I think the crypto market is generally going to do pretty well. After that, I think that there's going to be a lot of capital flowing into it. People have some people who are gold bugs, but also dabble in crypto. I have friends like that, might end up selling gold and putting it into crypto, for example. So same thing for the stock market. It may all rotate into crypto, or at least some of it. And so we may see Bitcoin pump. And then, of course, the coins that are strong, like Caspa, are going to do very well. So we look at market caps that Caspa is potentially capable of. Say Caspa went to the Solana market cap, it would be over $2. And say it even just went to Dogecoin's market cap, 58 cents. And these are all prices where these aren't really bull market necessarily market caps, because if we look at how far down these coins are from their all-time highs, Dogecoin is down 87% from its all-time high, right? Cardano is down 90%, Litecoin's down 84%, even Ethereum is down 50%. So when we come in here and we look at these potential market caps, we can look at the Dogecoin all-time high. That's much higher, $3.61. So, for example, as well, Cardano all-time high, $3.86. So right now, these coins are down a lot. So once Bitcoin gets to, if this is still a bull market and just a cup and handle along the way, once Bitcoin starts getting up there, and I believe it'll get up there at some point, I don't know when exactly, but I think it's going to get up there. Once it starts getting up to 100K, 150K, 207K, if it gets up to 240, wow, I'll be surprised. I mean, it's possible, but, I'm not sure it will. But in any case, once it starts getting up, anywhere into these market caps, and these prices, things are going to get very exciting. Yeah, it doesn't really take too much. I mean, it could do, it just needs some time to maybe go sideways, and we just need to wait and see what happens in the macro landscape with the Fed, the interest rate cuts and all that stuff coming up, and see how that affects the stock market. And maybe it's a big nothing burger, because this chart is looking to me kind of bullish. And again, a lot of people who are into macro are going to disagree with me, but I just look at the charts. I mean, every step of the way, even back here when price was doing this, people were still talking about recession and probably interest rate cuts. I kind of remember this time period, right? I was there. We were all there. We were all watching that. Look what happened, right? Every step of the way, fear and uncertainty. It doesn't change. Bear market, bull market, there's always fear, there's always uncertainty. And you just kind of have to hold on. And what I do is I just want to hold the best assets. For me, it's Caspa. And so that's how I'm playing it. And I think the upside on Bitcoin is going to be capped. I mean, even just from here, if it goes to, because the market cap's so big, even if it just goes to, say 150K this cycle, that's like, 168%. So, I mean, it's not great. It's okay for crypto. That's not great. But if we look at, Caspa, I think it's got the best risk reward profile, where there's still a good upside potential, but also on the level of speculativeness that you can have in crypto, I think, if you know anything about the fundamentals, it's less speculative. So to $1, which honestly to me is conservative for Caspa, that's 538%. If we're doing $2, that's 1,195%. If we're doing $3, which would be very, very nice, I'd be very happy with that. That's 1,900%. $5, it's 3,000%. And so I think the risk reward on Caspa is much better than Bitcoin. The fundamentals are so similar with the fair launch proof of work, with the caveat that Caspa obviously can scale. So fundamentally, it's better. As a recent Bitcoin maxi said, the wheel only needed to be invented once. I mean, that may be true, but what was the first wheel? It was likely wood or rubber. And since then, we've had gears, we've had motors, we've had obviously different materials, and we've even had rockets and helicopters, which have made the wheel. You don't need a wheel on a rocket or a helicopter, for example. So there's obviously different technologies that happen. The wheel was just one thing. Bitcoin paved the way for this trustless, decentralized technology of transferring value peer-to-peer, person-to-person, but Caspa is able to actually scale. And the world is still trying to figure out its place and how ultimately this technology is going to be ultimately utilized and adopted on a global level. But I can tell you it's not Bitcoin. I was in a space on X recently where Bitcoin maxis were just arguing about really what the real use case of Bitcoin was. And obviously there's problems with it, and they're just trying to come up with ways it's practical and really if maybe you're buying a house with Bitcoin, just a big purchase where you have 10 minutes or an hour to wait for the confirmations, okay. But if you're buying coffee or you have micro payments, just a paywall behind a website or just small things that need to happen instantly, Caspa is going to be able to do that. It's a decentralized network that can scale. The fees are minuscule. The speed is fast. You could buy coffee with it just immediately, get a haircut, whatever it is, pay a friend really quickly. Takes the place of any centralized payment rail, but it's decentralized. So that's essentially what the technology was made for. So I think Caspa just does it better than Bitcoin. So anyway, before I get too deep into fundamentals, yes, I think Caspa can eventually reach these prices because we just look at these market caps. And even Cardano, with the all-time high market cap of Cardano right now currently with the current Caspa supply is $3.86. So if we did Solana all-time high, that's $3.66. If Caspa is an up-and-coming layer one with superior technology and the narrative that it has to kind of be a better Bitcoin, or maybe we shouldn't say better Bitcoin. Maybe we should just say it has some features of Bitcoin, being a fair launch proof of work, but it's not really serving the same function, right? Because Bitcoin is clearly a digital gold now. I'm being a little maybe facetious here, but originally it was supposed to be electronic cash. Now it has turned into essentially a digital gold. Because you can't really use it for micropayments. So Caspa really is what a better utilization of what Satoshi envisioned for Caspa for Bitcoin, which was peer-to-peer electronic cash. So yeah, I think Caspa can get there. I mean, we're not going to shoot for Bitcoin market cap right now, but just for fun, looking at that, $46 right now. This won't be that different because Bitcoin is so close to its all-time high. But 46, 56, 58. I'll leave it there for fun. Of course, this is all just speculative and fun. And take it all with a grain of salt. Of course, I am invested in Caspa, and so I want to see it do well. And my conviction is high. I've been through all of these pullbacks and just kind of I'm here to go through all the volatility and the swings that just happen in the market cycles. And I think Bitcoin is going to get up here. I'm bullish on Bitcoin long term. I just don't think that Bitcoin has the best ROI at this point. I also just don't think that it really serves much of a function anymore other than a decentralized store of value, gold, which, as the market cap gets higher, it's going to level off, and it's going to take, all the moves are going to take longer. It's going to become more like actual gold where it took, let's do 12 months, right? So each of these is going to be 1 year. It took, when it made this peak here, it took, what is this, 9 years just to get back to its all-time high. It took almost a decade, right? So that's very rough. I wouldn't want to be holding Bitcoin, for example, if that ever happened to Bitcoin. So gold has the highest market cap. It's got like $1 trillion or many $trillion market cap. We can check that real quick here. Total asset rankings. Assets ranked by market cap. So we got 16.9 trillion on gold. It's quite big. Bitcoin is number 10. So Bitcoin, as it grows, is just going to get less volatile. It looks like it has been leveling off. And this is also interesting. If you're still watching this will be fun. This will be your reward for still being here. But thanks for watching, by the way. So if we look at, let me change the colors here. Okay. If we look at Caspa, and we look at the Bitcoin chart, posted a chart recently on Twitter. But as you can see, Caspa really does look, we have Bitcoin on the top on the weekly, the all-time chart, and we have Caspa on the bottom on the daily chart. And you can kind of see very similar structure here. Price action is leveling off here for Caspa. It's becoming less volatile here, as we see on Bitcoin, where it's becoming less volatile as it ages. And it could have to do with both the market cap and also the supply, which Caspa is about 85% emitted, and Bitcoin is about 94% emitted. So miners have less coins to sell on the market. There's less supply, and that's good for price action. So that's a nice feature of Caspa, that it had this rapid emission schedule, and buyers came in and just scooped it up. And early on, when the emissions were, say, there was only like less than 50% circulating, obviously that's going to be more concerning for people like the early people who were buying it here, knowing that maybe 70% or 50% still was yet to be circulating or mined. But nonetheless, it was a nothing burger. Price has continued to go up. Buyers have come in, and that just speaks to the fundamentals, in my opinion. So I'll leave it there. Bitcoin, Caspa, stock market, all in different phases. Each asset is doing its own thing a little bit, but we have seen this cup and handle here We've seen this cup and handle here on gold, and we have yet to really see it on Bitcoin, but potentially we are going to see a cup and handle play out on Bitcoin as well. So I'll leave it there. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know what you think about all this. If you think that this is a cup and handle on Bitcoin that's forming, that's going to lead to higher prices, potentially 100,000 by the end of 2024, or maybe even spring of 2025, which would coincide with the traditional halving cycle peak, which should be roughly quarter one or Q2 of 2025. So let me know what you think. Hopefully this was helpful. And if you want more help with technical analysis or just to pick my brain, feel free to join the Ski Bum Trading Discord server. The link for that will be in the description below. And otherwise, be well, take care, keep that edge sharp.